from the station that's on your side. You're watching News 19 at 11.
A happy ending tonight after a woman and her 5 children that had been missing for more than a week have been found. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kayla Bennett. JR and Andrea have the night off. 33-year-old Hattie Shaw and her children were located within the last hour. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says they received a call from another agency saying they located Shaw. Shaw's family filed a missing persons report after not hearing from her since June 8th. The Sheriff's Office says Shaw had a disagreement with her boyfriend, which prompted her to leave. Richland deputies are investigating a fatal shooting from this afternoon. Deputies say they responded to a shots fired call around 5 p.m. in the 1500 block of Elm Tree Road. That's off of Leesburg Road. A man was taken to the hospital where he later died after being shot in the lower body. Authorities say they could be looking for multiple shooters. If you have any information on this case, call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. A serial killer that was hiding in plain sight for more than a decade. For 13 years, the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office pursued leads that took them all over the nation. Little did they know that the killer they were looking for was walking the halls of the department year after year as a sex offender. Here's Brianna Smith.
Stay calm. Do not argue with people. Just keep up the great support.
Bill Cosby talking with reporters tonight after a 5th day of deliberation without jurors reaching a consensus in his sexual assault trial. The judge sent them home but ordered them back tomorrow at 9 a.m. to keep working. Kenneth Gregg is at the Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas in Norristown, Pennsylvania.
The judge in Norristown, Pennsylvania.
And this is a live shot in Minnesota tonight. Crowds filling the streets after a jury acquitted a Minnesota police officer of manslaughter and other charges in the deadly shooting of Philando Castile. Family members reacted with outrage following the acquittal of Officer Geronimo Yanez in the shooting death of Castile during a traffic stop last July. Castile's girlfriend live streamed the incident on Facebook after Officer Yanez shot Castile.
This city killed my son, and the murderer gets away.
Happened just seconds after Castile told the officer he was carrying a gun. He did have a permit for the firearm. Officer Yanez testified Castile was pulling the weapon out of his pocket despite Yanez's orders not to. The defense also argued Castile was high on marijuana at the time. The prosecutor said Castile was following the officer's commands and that nothing justified his killing. A rescue at sea is underway tonight after a U.S. Navy destroyer was badly damaged in a collision with a merchant ship off the coast of Japan. A distress call was received from the USS Fitzgerald around 2:30 in the morning local time. The ship is taking water below decks, and you can see that hoses are pumping water overboard. The condition of the merchant ship and its crew is unclear. The extent of injuries aboard the Fitzgerald is also unclear. There were initial reports that some of the crew was unaccounted for and others injured. A helicopter was being sent to medevac one sailor off the ship. Officials say the ship is able to travel back to Japan under her own power, though 2 Navy tugboats have been dispatched to provide help. More than a dozen emergency personnel ditched their ladder trucks, ambulances, and police cars for a bicycle. It's for the 6th annual Brotherhood Ride, which sees cyclists travel more than 600 miles over 6 days to remember those first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice. This year's ride honors 19 killed in 2015, 1 EMS worker, 10 firefighters, and 8 law enforcement officers, 3 of those officers being canines. The riders say the whole point of the trip is to provide financial and emotional support to the families affected.
We're making a sacrifice because they made the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. So it's good to get out here and do this, and the ride to honor them and show them that their families, that they are not forgotten. The Brotherhood itself, all of us, whether we're law enforcement, police, or EMS, it means a lot to all of us that we still stick together. It's like one big family. So we want those families to make sure that they still feel like they are part of the family even after their significant others lost.
The ride wraps up tomorrow, where the cyclists will ride 127 miles. Some USC students studied abroad in Costa Rica to help kids with health care. While students were learning about the healthcare system in the country, they visited daycares and hospitals to help people in the area. Some even made new buddies during the trip by teaching them about dental care and the importance of brushing your teeth. One USC student and faculty member say that it was an inspiring trip that they hope will inspire the kids they worked with in Costa Rica.
I think kids are, they are the future, so it's important for them to learn young so they can grow and become adults. Hopefully I had a little bit of impact in their lives as they did on mine.
The students inspire me because it's a new generation, new way of thinking. You know, there's a lot of things that's going on now that didn't happen when I was young, that I didn't have, and so, you know, I learned a lot from the students, so they're always inspiring.
This is the second year that USC has had the study abroad program for public health. They plan to go back to Costa Rica in the near future.